Well, hello, Internet. I'm back. Sorry for my absence. I've been very busy. Working, drinking beer. Tonight we have some Wake Up Iowa Stout, coffee stout. Great stuff down here from Coralville, about 20 minutes south of me. And they even have one of their cool paper coasters. Check them out. And this isn't paid placement. This is just fucking good beer. So now we've covered fucking good beer. Let's cover some really fucking good new wave of British heavy metal music. This one for me is a classic, and granted, this happened years before I was born. I think it'd be about 7 years or so. But it's one of those records I got into, I'd heard about, and I grew up with the album it came from. But the single just really has stuck with me for a long time. And back when I was a kid doing like garage band stuff, we did this song. It's just a fucking fun song. So let's hit it. Holocaust, Smokin' Valves. Fuck yes. This cover art, as you can see, is nicked straight off the Nightcomers. The back, I'll let you see here. This is, I believe, the French single here, and I'll pull the record out of the jacket, and then we'll go to the original Phoenix pressing. Oh, I'm sorry, this is copyrighted in 1980, so this is 7 years older than me. So here is the record itself. It is what I call American style because most UK singles aren't like it, but I realize other countries around the world do it. It's at the big hole. So there you go. Pretty boring label, but hey, you know what? Not boring music. So let me just put this back in its sleeve for safety's sake. I am one of those people that tries to keep my records as nice as possible. I understand I'm buying records now that are 35 years old, but I'd like to preserve them as close as I can, so they survive in the future for other people that are into this music, be it my kids or other metalheads to enjoy. So where to start on this record? Smokin' Valves. We'll talk about that. It is, it's flat out. I mean, some people might call it cheesy, but for me, I don't want to call it cheesy because it's so fucking enthusiastic. It feels like a shame to call it cheesy, and and the lyrics to this are kind of well known around the internet. Got me an electric guitar, show you where the good times are. Whip it up, play all night and day, play all day. Don't give a damn what the neighbors say. I love to rock, I love to roll, I love to get down low, I love to rock and roll. Smokin' Valves, of course. Just to clarify, what they're talking about is valve state amps. They're talking about tube amps. And one of the things I always thought was interesting on this record, and like I say, I'd love if you want to bust me on anything. If you were involved in this, let me know. And these guys are Scottish, Holocaust from Edinburgh, Scotland. And you can hear me for 1,000 miles is one of the lyrics. It got me. You can hear me for 1,000 miles. And that kind of blew me because, you grow up here being an American, and, the UK is on that metric system there. But they reference miles, which obviously, they invented all that system, and then we kept it. They upgraded, we didn't. So, yeah, that really blew me away. But Smokin' Valve is just a great straight-up heavy song, comes in with a nice, fun riff. The opening drum bit's cool. Plays through kind of your traditional setup. I love the bridge, the kind of climbing and then descending scale thing. That's really fun for me. I really enjoy that. It's a fun song to play, too, if you're a guitar head or a bass player, or probably even a drummer. And then the drum outro, I can remember, I take you back to me and my friend of mine used to jam this, and he had some drums, and I played guitar. And and we didn't quite have it. We kind of eared it, but it wasn't right. It was one of those kind of like, it sounds pretty close, but it's not it. So we were taping this on one of those little tape decks. And I remember him learning the drum outro to this song, which is fucking huge and blows up in the speakers. And just watching him do it, and we heard that, I'm just like, fuck yes. But that's one of the things I love about this song. Usually we don't talk about an outro. It's like the intro or this riff, the main riff. But the one thing that's always stuck out with me, besides Smokin' Valves being a fucking fun song, is the massive drum bit played at the end by Paul Collins. He was a drummer at that point. Just a massive fill there at the end, and it just sounds fantastic and just sends a record out with a boom. We're going to flip over to the B side, or since this is a French pressing, they call it Face B. Out My Book. I've seen this listed somewhere as Out of My Book. I think maybe on a CD repressing or some website. So I don't know how accurate that is. Let me just check the label because I know there's some ambiguity on Out My Book. Okay. I'm going to check. I have the 12-inch. So, yeah, Out My Book. Here's the 12-inch. And, oh, screen glare. But, you see, we got Holocaust. We got John Mortimer here with his fake Les Paul. Gary Lettuce got maybe like a Ruger Blackhawk stuffed in his shorts. I don't know. Let's see here. We're going down. We got Robin Bagg and Paul Collins. By the way, Aviators on Gary. Just fucking cool. And then Ed Dudley down here with this guitar. I'm not sure what this is. I think it's some homebrew thing, but I really like to know because it's kind of cool looking. Glare. There we go, maybe. And they're standing on carpet in some sort of archway with their shoes on. If anyone knows the story on this photo, please tell me. I might try to hit up John Mortimer and see what the story is on that. But of course, on the back, they're all listed. And there's this shit like dial-up where they tell you the tape speed it was recorded at for maximum blast. And that's cool. I mean, that's part of this whole collecting experience. So take a look. I think this is a pretty traditional Phoenix label. Let's see here. Yeah, it's a pretty traditional, from what I've seen, label from Phoenix. So we'll just talk about the B-side. So on the 7-inch, of course, you only get one B-side, and that's Out My Book. And on the 12, you get Out My Book and Friend or Foe. I love Out My Book. And if you get to ever listen to the Live at Raw and Loud CD or the DVD thing that exists of that show, or the Betamax or the VHS, which I'd love to find a copy of. I have some adverts for it, but we'll save that for a different review. That is just a badass song, a big killer riff. Maybe sometime I'll get out and review it and play it, because I'd like to do some of that on guitar show, some of those cool fucking British heavy metal riffs. But it's a Mortimer riff, I can tell. He's credited in it, and it's just a great classic 80s metal, proto-thrash even, you could say, riff. Song, I really like it. It's a typical kind of story of like, oh, well, you loved me, now you're gone, you want me back. But they do it in a way that's kind of like, yeah, fuck yeah. Love me, do you? Oh, really? And I really enjoyed that. A great guitar solo in there. And again, I feel like I'm just talking about Paul Collins here all day. But nice big poundy kind of thing on the drums, like a bunk, that holds the whole chorus thing together. Or not, excuse me, the bridge. Bridge is just a fun little descending kind of traditional set of chords, natural, moving down. The chorus, let me correct myself on that now, is a fun bunch of pull-off things. I really enjoy playing that song. But moving to Friend or Foe, the other song on this record, it's probably, and I hate to have to say something like this because I really enjoy Holocaust, the band. It's probably not one of my favorites of theirs. It's not a bad song. They have other ones that are probably less favorite of mine. But it's missing something. It's kind of more like a hard rock song. And, Be My Friend, Don't Turn Me Away. Just lyrically, I mean, it's well performed. And obviously I like them. But it's not one of my favorites. It's a little bit too, I don't know. I'm not getting into it. It's not, it is what it is. But it's classic and it's there. And the riff is fun. I mean, it's a fun hard rocking song. But the other two songs on this record just blow it away. So again, Holocaust, Smokin' Valves. Check it out in the original Phoenix pressing, or this, or whatever reissue it's on. Maybe Inside the Power Cage, I believe it's included on. And I think I've noticed, and someone please correct me or bust me on this, only slight differences between the two recordings of Smokin' Valves itself, the 7 versus the 12-inch version. I don't think there is one. I think it's just my ears, but someone correct me on it if I'm wrong. I wouldn't be surprised. That's all I got for you guys, so I will see you next time doing here some new wave of British heavy metal reviews out of a basement in Iowa and drinking beer. Cheers.